Hi everybody, thanks for joining Create with Dee. Today I'm going to show you my technique of getting my scraps under control. I don't know about all of you other crafters out there, but it seems like all of a sudden I look around and I've got tons of scrap. And so I'm just going to share with you my tip of how I keep myself organized, because I feel like my paper is an investment, and you just because there's a little bit of punching or stamping on a product, there's still a lot of this money is still in these papers. And so again, I'm just going to show you how I organize. I have this 12 by 12 drawer organizer that I just got at the local department store, the Walmarts, the Myers type of store carries them. And I have this drawer that I keep out by my paper trimmer. And then as I cut and I have scraps, I just kind of throw them in this tray until it gets to the point where it's time to sort it out again. And so that's how I keep that. Again, it just is handy, and then that way I can organize it later as I want to. And I go to the dollar store and get the cheapest storage bags, Ziploc bags that I can. And I get like the big gallon size, perhaps the quart size, and then I organize my scraps by color. And I do it by solid color as well as by pattern color. And I just start making piles. And again, these scraps are going to eventually get into my Ziplocs. So this would be my purple tone pile, this is my solid pink pile, etc. And I just kind of group them in color tones and by solids and patterns. So like for example, if I'm doing my solids, I probably would put my yellow tones and brown together. For me, that's in the same family. Blacks and whites I keep in a bag by themselves. So again, here's some white scrap, and I'll put it in with that pile. Here's a pattern green. This is part, so you can either do it by color tones, or maybe I would want to keep it in the family of designer paper. This is from Cottage Walls. As you guys know, I'm crazy about this designer paper. So I may put all of the scraps of that together if I know I have other projects I want to coordinate. Here's all of my circles from my circle card. Put that in with my, with my pinks. So I'll come back in just a little bit after I have everything sorted and show you how it looks at the end. Hi everybody. Okay, I've got my box, my little tray sorted. Okay, there's none left. I've got it all sorted out. And I just spread out on my kitchen table when I do this so that I can try to make my piles. There's my black and white, and I'll probably actually make two, I'll make a black and a white bag out of this. Here was my brown and yellow tones. Again, after sorting it out, I may separate it into yellows and brown and rust color. So this is what my pile looks like right now. And it also helps me realize what I have, what I can just throw away. And in the middle here, you can see I've got all of these little shapes and maybe stamped images that I've punched out. And I'm not ready to throw those away yet. So what I'll do is get the smaller bag. So this is, I think, a snack pack size. So maybe with my purple tones that I have here, I'll gather these and maybe I'll use them at another project. So again, I just kind of hang on to that kind of stuff just for a little bit, because as I keep saying, we've already paid money for this stuff, and maybe we can, use every little bit that we can so that it really is a value when we buy the paper. Okay, so then that would be how I might do some of the little projects. And then you've seen some of these. These are my extras, like this is the fish punch. Here's the bunny, and here are just some other shapes that I've cut out. So all of these get bagged so that they get protected, as well as I can understand what paper I have, and I can see it all at once. So then, after I would get everything sorted out, let's just turn around here and we'll use the pink, for example. Again, this is a gallon size Dollar General, bag. It's not an expensive one. I'm not storing food or anything. I just need it to house my paper. And I'll just put my solid pink scraps in here. And then again, I have this storage, and then these fit right inside of the storage. So I have a drawer that holds my scraps until I'm ready to organize, and then I come in and take all of my scraps. So the next time I do that, I have my pink bag started, and I would just add to my organizer tray with that holds the pink scrap. Then this is so great, ladies, because as you get ready to do your next project and you just need that little bit of scrap black, and then you're like, well, where do I have it? You can just go right to your organized bags and grab it. And I'll come back one more time and show you what this pile looks like all bagged up. Okay, everybody, I've got everything pretty much sorted out, and I thought I just would kind of show you this last little bit. I did decide to separate out my yellows. I had a lot of those, and I really like the brown tones a little better. So, you know, again, I would just go color tone or color by color, depending on how you want to do it, or really it depends on what your scraps look like too. Okay, so here's what my drawer is. It's a 12 by 12 drawer, and then I just have all of my scraps organized now by color tone. So I have, you know, these are the cardstock, the solid colors, and I did decide to separate out my black and my white. And then I've got my color tones. I think I'll actually try to hold my camera out a little bit. So like for me, there's my blues and my purples, pinks, and this is kind of, I have a lot of these combination colors, so I thought I'm just going to keep this collection together. It's got greens and pinks and yellows, so that's how my scrap pile turned out. So I wanted to keep those all together so when I would make something, I'd have the coordinating pieces and my green tones. Okay, so that would be how my scrap drawer would look like. So it's a whole lot different from when it first started, isn't it? It's organized, I can find things easier, and then to start all over, like I probably get going on projects and I just would empty out the drawer with the Ziplocs and start putting it in there so it would go fast. You know, of course you could organize as you go. And then here again would be some of the little pieces in the smaller zip containers, you know, that I came up with. Okay, so I hope that maybe gives you an idea on how you can organize your scraps. And I guess just a word, since I've been doing being a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here for the last several months, is I cannot believe the difference it makes with your pattern paper and your cardstocks when they do match. I've had this technique for, you know, a couple of years now, but now I know that when I go to use my paper, my designer paper, the pattern paper, that the cardstock scrap that I have is going to match it perfectly. And it's not hunting and pecking through all of those different manufacturers' papers whose colors are just slightly off. I've got one manufacturer, it's Stampin' Up!, love their stuff, and so again, kind of how I organize it, and I hope that you give it a try. It works for me. Happy crafting, everybody. Bye-bye.